Hey Long Island, it's Alicia from Black Owned Long Island. I am super excited to share today that we are piloting our very first podcast called Lit Long Island. Lit Long Island will introduce you to some of the hottest businesses and brands across Nassau and Suffolk counties. Today, we have Ashley Fillman, a Westbury resident, who will be leading the conversation with one of the co-founders from Standard Poor, Shannel County. Ashley, over to you. Hi, how are you today?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So my name is Ashley Fillman. I currently live in Westbury, New York. I just wanted to introduce myself formally. Would you like to say anything before we start?
I'll just introduce myself as well and just thank you. So my name is Shannel County, and I'm one of the owners of Standard Poor in Valley Stream, and I am also a resident of Valley Stream. And my partner, co-founder, is Darlene Gomez, who is also a resident of Valley Stream.
Great. Okay, so I guess I'll start off with my first question, and that is what inspired you guys to start this business?
So we both knew that we wanted to have a business, and we wanted to have a business in Valley Stream. And honestly, like the wheels got turning really quickly. I think individually we both wanted it for a while, but the conversation together came maybe I would say June of last year, because we live near each other as well. And Darlene had come over and we started talking about business. She's like, I need to have a business and I want to have it on Rockaway Avenue. I think there's an opportunity there. And I said, well, I'm interested. So we just started talking about ideas and different things that we thought would be really cool and definitely valuable to our community and for ourselves and our growth as women, as Black women, as family members, because we are cousins. And I think it just started from there. And then the opportunity for a coffee bar presented itself because the space that we occupy is very historic in this neighborhood. And probably in June, there was a coffee shop that was here prior to us. They had closed their doors and they were in the community for about 9 years. But before them, there was a record store. And before them, there was a clothing store. And they were all like very significant and vital to the community. And so for us, when they closed, it was a big deal for the community. It was like a line around the corner when they closed. And we didn't know that we would end up in the same space. I think the space went up for rent, up for lease, maybe about a month later. And as we were in the process of brainstorming different ideas and what we wanted to do, that we thought we had time. But then when opportunities present themselves, you kind of take the office. So Darlene, she
Exactly.
called me and I didn't answer. She texted me, she said, did you see my email? Or I think she texted me and then called me. I said, no, I didn't get a chance. I did see that you texted, but I didn't get a chance to like review it. She said the space is up for rent. There's up for lease. You got to put in an application. Let's put it in and see what happens, and we'll take it from there. And that's kind of just how it started. And we said, okay, we need a coffee shop again. So why not do the coffee shop? And we were talking about doing a wine bar as well. So like, put the two concepts together, coffee shop and wine bar. And we knew that it would be a phased rollout. So we are in a coffee shop, espresso bar phase. And that's kind of where everything started. And it's been a roller coaster since then.
I love that. And I'm so excited that you actually told basically the whole story because I was gonna ask too, like what particularly made this location so significant to you guys, or was it just something that, you found and then therefore you pushed
Mhm,
forward with the idea? But I'm glad
mhm.
that you spoke on
Yeah.
that. So what was life for you guys before Standard Poor? Because I understand that you guys still both work full time as well, right?
Yep. So we both
Mm-hmm.
work full-time jobs before. So before and currently, so Darlene also has her own business outside
Mm-hmm.
of Stand Before. It's just HR consulting that she does, and then I'm in education, so I work for a charter school in New York City.
Oh wow.
And I mean, part of the pandemic in its entirety is unfortunate, but there are blessings and silver linings that have come out of it. And part of that is being able to open this business, but also that I am working from home for the most part. I actually have to start going back in next week, but it afforded
Oh
me the
man.
opportunity to be able to like finagle both. It's still not easy, but it has afforded me that opportunity. So that is like where we are, like full-time professionals outside of a standard pour. So that has continued since opening our doors.
I love that. And that's exactly what was leading to my next question was just basically, so you said that you had this idea in June of last year. So obviously June of last year, we were in pandemic last year
Oh yeah,
during that
remember
time.
it was
Yes.
since March.
Okay, yes. Because at first I was thinking it was the year before. I was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I know,
we
right?
thought
Like it's just really warped our sense of time.
exactly. So with that understanding, how did you really take the time to finagle being able to open this new establishment in such a dark, I guess you can say, time for everyone?
Yeah, I don't. It's interestingly enough, as much as the pandemic is in the forefront, it never once occurred to us that we couldn't do it.
Mm,
We like it was just like the opportunities and the doors that opened to get us to this point took the forefront. And so we never even had the conversation of should we not do it because of the pandemic. I think because the pandemic kind of gave everybody like a pause and a reset, so to speak. Some people. Um, we took that as okay, we could try to make this happen. Like there's
right,
things like
making the best out of the
yeah,
situation.
exactly. Like realizing like, oh, this is a goal and we can accomplish it, and just proving to ourselves because the follow through is the hardest part, right? And
Exactly.
to me in life, the follow through of oh, I have this goal, like let me put in the work that it takes. And the
Right,
fact that
using
we
it
were
to your
able to do
advantage.
that, exactly. The fact that we were able to do that, and then I think, I always think that having a team or collaborating is better than doing things by yourself, and just having one another to rely on and bounce off of just made it even more possible for us.
That is great, and I love to hear it. So the name Standard Pour I found was unique in itself. So what really, drove you guys to that choosing on that
The
name?
standard for it's just it speaks to the level of the
Hmm.
service and product that we offer. Technically speaking, when you think of the standard pour of wine and the standard pour of coffee,
Hmm.
it's the same. It is 5 ounces, but
Hmm.
we don't necessarily expect everyone to understand that or think about that first. So it just really more as a nod to the level of the experience that we want everyone to have once they step through our doors.
Gotcha. And so with the establishment and its growth and everything that's happened so far, are you looking eventually to expand? Or was this like the one location that you guys are really set
No, we are considering it's like it's always been in our vision to eventually expand.
on? Hmm.
But our goal right now is to make sure that we establish this very well. So in all our
Hmm.
planning, the decisions that we made, we wanted to make sure that it could be replicated and could be scaled if and when necessary. But it is important to us that we really make this work really well, so that we can focus on anything that has to come after that and not have to worry. Um,
Right.
that we're not our foundation, right? And anything that you have to have a solid foundation. So this is our solid foundation that we're creating. But yes, we definitely have that in the books for the future.
That's exciting. Okay. So I guess one of my last questions is what is your hottest seller? Like somebody comes in and they have no idea what's on your menu. What do you guys recommend, both drink wise and,
And food
entree
wise.
or whatever?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So drink wise, I mean, the beauty of coffee is that you can you can create whatever you want with it.
Hmm.
And so we've created like these specialty drinks, and I have to actually give the kudos to Darlene, who's really come up with the recipes and thinking about what syrups and sauces would work with with our coffee, which I want to plug is by Counterculture Coffee. And their coffee is just excellent, it's great quality, delicious. And so one of our top sellers is called the Pistachio Chocolate Rose Latte,
Mm.
that people love, and you can get it hot, you can get it iced. And I think it's just everything works in that drink. It's made with pistachio milk, which we get our pistachio milk from a company called Tashi. And Tashi
Hmm.
is actually a woman owned business, which is important to us in our vision. Part of what we set out to do is making sure that we are representing for Black people, women, people of color, local as much as possible. So
Hmm.
even, most of our partnerships and the people that work with us and for us, we really try to stick to that. Or if we couldn't get that, we want to make sure that the opportunities are there for us, such as our partnership with Counterculture. And our tea comes from Brooklyn tea. So one of our other best sellers is an iced pear raspberry green tea. So we use Brooklyn tea raspberry green tea, and we pair that with a desert pear syrup to create that really like refreshing and lightly sweet tea. And then, yeah, so that's all specialty drinks, our best sellers, I'd say. And then, of course, our house coffee, our house blend, our espresso, those roasts sell phenomenally every day. And then we have these pastries. So our baker, her
Yes,
name is
let's talk about
Odetta.
pastries.
Her name is Odetta. She of Warberry Cakes, and she's also local to Valley Stream, a Black woman. She's West Indian, and we're West Indian too as well. We're from Trinidad, and she's Guyanese actually. So
Yes.
she makes different pastries for us. And one of our top sellers is the cheddar dill scone. So it's just the combination of the cheese and the dill, which I wasn't expecting it to work so well, and especially when you get it really warm, it's like a cheddar biscuit. And then she also makes these sweet scones, which are amazing. She makes loaves. So those sell really well. And then in our kitchen, so it's interesting, like when I was talking about opportunities when opening, you realize how many people around you in your support system or people you've known or friendships or family like are doing things, and you can like reach out to them to like
You can use each other.
And so our chef, who Dwayne Daniel, he's actually like an old friend. And I was like, wait a minute, I know someone who cooks, and he is our chef. And so he's helped us when we thought about the menu that we wanted. We wanted to give a nod to things that are classics, but making sure that when you come here, it's a specific and unique taste. And it also tries to incorporate our Caribbean heritage as well as much as we can in our flavors and our seasonings. So two of our top sellers from the kitchen are our bacon, egg, and cheese, which is a play on the classic, the deli classic, but we make it with a bacon jam, which has a slight kick to it. So it's like a savory, sweet little spice. We do a smoked cheddar cheese and obviously bacon and egg. And so people love that. It comes on a pretzel bun.
That is beautiful.
It's really, really good. And then the other top seller, like kind of just took off running from soft opening, is a turkey panini. And so we make that with roasted peppers that we roast in house. We make the pesto sauce in house. We pair that with like cooked turkey breast, not the deli turkey breast, which we slice up so people get a good piece of meat, some provolone cheese, spinach. We create our own balsamic glaze. So those two sandwiches have really been our top sellers. But we have other great, like everything on our menu is like a great item. But those are
I love that. You sold me. How do you feel like having come so far in the middle of a pandemic, you own this business, it's growing nicely, you have all these things to offer. How does it feel as, like you said, a Black, woman who has started from one end of a job career line and then turned it into something totally different? Now you are an entrepreneur of your own. How does that feel?
It's an amazing feeling, and I don't think we take the time to stop enough to think about that.
Because everything
right?
is always going.
You're in it. And I think for me, I realized that the most for our grand opening, we had a lot of people come off our soft opening, but we had even more people come for our grand opening. We had a ribbon cutting. The mayor of Valley Stream is here, the Chamber of Commerce. We also had Michelle Salages come as well, Councilwoman Miss Salages.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just like, it was like, wow, all these people are here for us. And like, you get the support of your friends and family, but it was more than friends and family.
Right.
And so it just feels amazing. And it feels like it's a great reminder. Like, we could do this and we're going to do this. And it's more than just us. It's bigger than us, right? We're creating legacy for our families. We're creating generational wealth, but we're just creating opportunities in our community. Beyond jobs, just another space to offer to the community. And outside of that, we also like a model for what could be. And we're not perfect. We don't have all the answers. We are learning every day. And it's definitely not easy, but it's just like proving to ourselves what could be done and like being able to show up in that way, in that space for other people as well.
Like growing up myself, I don't really recall seeing too many Black owned businesses in general, let alone Black owned businesses by women. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's very inspiring to see how far we've come and how far we can go. And I thank you so much for your time today.
I appreciate it.